Today's video is going to be really quite interesting because for the longest time when I've been playing Minecraft and building redstone contraptions, I've always said that it would be really nice to have a redstone block that only powers in one direction, or it doesn't power in all directions equally, it perhaps has some quirks to it, and that would mean that we could use it in certain circuits in different ways. And the Redstone++ mod actually adds this in. As you can see, we've got ourselves a half redstone block that we can place down on the floor. This top side is a redstone block, and this bottom side doesn't power anything. And I just want to try and work out, is it actually useful inside redstone circuits? Now the first thing that I want to find out, ooh, okay, well that's a big positive. So with a regular redstone block, if we were to just chuck this down up here, it gets stuck up like that. But if we use this half block, in fact, this is really interesting because it really does only power in one direction. I thought that there was a chance that it would power this piston because, of course, this redstone block is actually touching that piston, but it doesn't look like that's the case. And it also doesn't look like that's the case underneath either, which is very, very interesting. I wonder, is this still... Yeah, okay. Okay. Right, let's start chucking it in some redstone circuits. I'm genuinely curious to see if this is better than something like an observer block. Just so you know, this video is totally experimental, and I may or may not come to any form of conclusion. I just thought it'd be interesting. And you know what? I'm going to come straight out the gate here, and I'm going to build an upwards-facing line of triple piston extenders, which... I mean, that's actually quite a bold maneuver. That's quite a big redstone project in and of itself. But what I want to do is create kind of like a pop-up bridge. So we'll have our redstone block here, then we'll have our sticky piston, and then this block. In fact, it's actually going to be even higher than that, isn't it? It's going to be up here. So that's how high our bridge is actually going to be going. Wow. Actually, I was wrong. I did some miscalculation. It's not quite going to be that high up. This is where the piston is going to be sitting. And actually, you know what? As a good start for the redstone, half redstone block, I have to say, this is going to be quite simple, actually. He says, incredibly confidently, I'm trying my best to keep this really compact, and it's actually difficult. Also, I haven't thought of the second block retraction. I haven't thought of any of that. Right, part one has been completed. We have got the full triple extension, and those half redstone blocks are coming in handy. And then the retraction, we have some of... But that's definitely not going to work because we haven't grabbed these blocks. We've kind of had to do it in a bit of a backwards way. So if we take a look, we've got the full extension and then we retract everything out the way. We get a double extension, then another double extension, and everything retracts back down into the floor. Now, it does work, and the half redstone blocks have come in handy. I mean, without them, we wouldn't be able to do this. This would be physically impossible without the half redstone blocks. So they're definitely serving a purpose there. And there's definitely a smarter way to do this redstone circuit. So at the minute the jury's kind of still out. I mean, that is useful. Look, that looks great. That is something that you'd never see in a redstone circuit ever. You'd never see that. Okay, let's try something different. I've come up with a really cool idea for a piston door, which is entirely made out of pistons. So the idea is that your pistons will go right here, and they'll be going up like this, and they will be going up like this, and then all of these pistons will be powered by these half redstone blocks. So if we place those in just like that, they will be extended across, and then if we do it on this side as well, they will extend across just like that. And then what we can do is we can retract all of these blocks out of the way. So we can retract the half redstone blocks, retracting the pistons, and then also move back the pistons as well. Let's see if this is too fast. So here go those, and then these guys go right here. And that will be our pistons. So if we do this, okay, that's the door closed. It's a little bit, it's not quite there. But I'm assuming if we take this back, yeah, that will happen. The good news is this thing actually works. If we flick this lever here, you can see that our door closes up, and then if we flick the lever again, you can see that everything opens. And that was... Okay, that's caused by that redstone line there. So if we flick the lever again, up here, then everything is in sync. So this is what our piston door actually looks like. It looks... Yeah, it's an interesting looking one. I've never really seen anything like that before. But the only issue is that I mean, let's be honest, this is cool looking, but it's not quite as cool looking as a 4x4 piston door, yet it's considerably larger than a 4x4 piston door. And also, it probably uses more pistons than a 4x4 redstone door, and it definitely uses more redstone blocks than a 4x4 piston door. So it uses a lot more resources, it uses a lot more space, it probably doesn't look quite as cool, and this one is definitely slower. Now, a lot of those things can probably be fixed. You could probably make it more compact, and you could probably make it faster, but still, this isn't the greatest advert for half redstone blocks. Okay, let's move on to something slightly different again. And you know what? I'm kind of struggling to think of something that would work well with half redstone blocks. One thing that is definitely useful about the half redstone block is the fact that obviously it doesn't power any redstone components around it. So, for example, that's not what I expected to happen. So this redstone runs into the redstone block as if it is actually a thing, but it's not a thing, if you get what I mean. Anyway, the magic button does work really, really well, and that has definitely made things smaller. So now what we can have is this piston is flat on the floor, and as you can see, this button works and actually powers the thing underneath. So if you got yourself a carpet, or for example, something like a slab, then you can put airspace underneath that button. It looks really fancy, and you get yourself a redstone output. Now that half redstone block has definitely helped out there because it doesn't power these hoppers, and it doesn't power this redstone dust. But that is interesting. Very, very interesting about that. Oh, this is another positive of the half redstone block, is the fact that we can now actually have it in piston feed tapes because it doesn't power any of the pistons at the bottom. So say, for example, you want to power that piston there. I'm curious. Yeah, I was gonna say, there is bud powering going on still. Okay. Oh, and yeah, there's bud powering going on still. So we can't do that. No, we can't. Unless you rotate it sideways, but that's not much good, really, in the grand scheme of things. Now one place that this does get incredibly helpful is the fact that you can do things like this. So you can have redstone blocks, and I'm assuming, yes, okay, so they don't power each other. Now that is a big deal. That's a bit of a big deal, because if we were to power... So if we were to do this with regular redstone blocks, if we were to power both of these, that would do that, and we can retract, that's fine, that's with the half slabs. But if we were to do it with the redstone blocks, instantly you get this problem happening. Okay, so that's pretty big news. But how useful, when do you do things like that? I actually thought I'd revisit the piston feed tape thing, because I feel like I might be able to do something with this if I line them up in a different order. So if we have this one fire first, which actually means that we're going to need glass there, and this is going to need to be replaced because that's going to be the air gap. So if this one fires first and then this one comes along, then it shouldn't cause an update, which means that we should then be able to have it in a piston feed tape, which genuinely would be really handy. Nope, doesn't work. Of course it doesn't work. I mean, obviously we could use a sticky piston with a block on top, but I just wanted to see if we could do it as a raw piston feed tape, and no. So I guess I should probably make some form of conclusion about the half redstone block, because I've actually spent about the past 45 minutes just staring at this world, trying to think of other redstone contraptions that are made possible by the half redstone block, and outside of doing things like this, like repeating this process of just having a half redstone block powering pistons in unnatural ways, a bit like this, or for example having the half redstone block next to redstone components that redstone blocks would normally power, it doesn't really change much, which is interesting. It's really interesting, because to me that means that this isn't actually an overpowered redstone component. Originally when I went into this video, I kind of thought that this was actually going to be a little bit overpowered, and I thought it was going to change Redstone too much. It was going to make too many things possible, and it was actually going to ruin some of the problem-solving elements of Minecraft Redstone, but that's not actually the case. It's quite a tricky thing to use. It's got its own little limitations involved, and you still have to be smart about how you use it, which means that actually, I came into this video thinking that it wouldn't really be a good fit for Minecraft. I'm leaving this video saying that if this was introduced into vanilla Minecraft, I would be incredibly happy. Incredibly happy, because it fits right in. It's perfect. It feels like a vanilla Minecraft component, and it would be incredibly useful for Redstone contraptions. It would compact things, but it wouldn't change the fundamentals of Redstone too much. So very, very interesting. This has been an interesting one for me. I hope that you've enjoyed this little experimental Redstone video. Obviously, I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.